What's up, everyone? It's Azora Hype here. I'm super hyped to be hanging out with you today on this lovely Thursday, November 23rd on planet Earth. I hope all of you are doing awesome. I know some of you are doing Thanksgiving in the U.S., so I hope all of you are enjoying that. But today we're going to do a nice little short stream. It's going to be fun. We're going to hang out, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some Season 8 stuff. Let's talk about if House Reed, if Mira Reed is going to appear in the show in Season 8. And yeah, let me know. Basically, this is for you guys, guys and gals, to basically get some of your questions in and have a fun chat. So I'm really open, and I hope everyone is having an awesome day. And let's get it. Let's have some fun. Let's see who's in the chat. We got Jacob Morris. We got Reese. What's going on? Saga Poetic. We got a donation from Katrin before the stream started. Thank you very much. We got Wesley said it's Thanksgiving in the States, so he won't be able to join, but have a fun live. We have Scotty. Let's scroll down some more here. Adam Richards, what's going on, man? I've been working on the video that we've been working on. That's probably going to come out just once I start getting a little steam back for the channel. I want to make sure that as many people see what we worked on there. But really excited to talk about the Dragon Glass cave scene. So if any of you are excited about that or like that scene, I got a Dragon Glass cave video. And it kind of relates back to the death of Daenerys video that I did before, which we almost have 300,000 views on, which is absolutely insane. I think we need like another 4,000 views to hit 300,000. So that would be the biggest video of the channel. So really, really awesome. Who else we have in here? We have Ray Washington. We have Nicola. We have Mia Ice and Fire. We have Elizabeth. Allah's right in the world. Again, great to have you back, Azora Hype. Yeah, I'm super happy to be back. I'm feeling much better. I was, obviously I had this stuff happen with the channel. That's all behind me. Don't worry about that. And I had this like really bad chest cold for a while. Like I think I had bronchitis, but I got rid of it. We have Lara, Kemi. Who else do we have in here? Tyrion. Oh, Tyrion Landstark's in here. Awesome. Tyrion Landstark Jr. We have CJNPA and Eduardo Blanco. So yeah, it's hard surviving now without Thrones, isn't it? It's like, okay, Sundays. I'm sure there's other really great TV shows that are on that can captivate you, but not quite like Thrones. The story that we have from Thrones is so unique, right? So, but what I want to talk about is some of the news that's been coming out from Watchers on the Wall. There's been a little bit of news trickling out. I did the video yesterday. I don't know for all of you that have seen it. It's about the Unsullied possibly battling spoilers. If you don't like spoilers or news for season 8, possibly going into the north and battling maybe the White Walkers and the Night King outside Winterfell. It's possible that it is in Winterfell in the north, but it could be King's Landing as well. There might be like some sort of battle on two fronts, but I don't foresee a situation where the Unsullied are going to be not with Daenerys and her dragons and whatnot, because the Unsullied are very uniquely situated in the way they approach combat and whatnot. I talked about that in my video yesterday, the Phalanx, and if you watch the movie 300, they're very much based off Spartan culture. So really, really interesting. I think that the Unsullied, obviously most of the people that we love in the show are not going to survive. It's going to be difficult to see a lot of these characters like Grey Worm and these tertiary and secondary characters survive the story. I think in the end we'll have 7 to 10 POVs left out of maybe the 18 to 20 that we have still left in the show that are considered main characters. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of where they go with it. And but I'm super excited. They have a huge budget for season 8, and I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. All the huge battles that we're going to get. So yeah. All right. So I went off on a little tangent there. Let's see. Let's go down. We have a question Have you heard the leaks? If you have, do you think they're true? Which leaks? The ones that were like 4 months ago? Those were completely fan fiction. If there's new ones, I haven't heard about it. But I'm gonna say here's the thing. There's news. I believe it was yesterday from Watchers on the Wall. They were saying that the hackers are being prosecuted. So I think that that's a huge thing. Obviously, we heard that this season the security was going to be something that was upped in a big way. They're going to infuse some money into it. And I mean, if it's going to be the last season, they want to make sure that it's done right. They're essentially doing 690 or 80 to 90-minute movies. So when you're doing that, you want to kind of preserve the holy grail of the story. I think that these leaks, I'm not sure if they're accurate. I do know that perhaps some of them it could be real, but I know that a lot of people like to capitalize on these kind of things and get attention. People like attention. So I've watched a couple videos on YouTube, not from any big YouTubers per se, but like from channels I've never heard of, and I'm like, man, honestly, I'm shutting this shit right off. Like these videos are terrible. So I'm not going to get into that, but I'm not sure. I can't really answer that question because I haven't really I'm just getting back into the game, and I've really been focused on everything but leaks. All right, let's go to Elizabeth's question. Can we talk about the Night King? What is his purpose? I mean, it's such a huge. Is he such a huge villain? Is he trying to save the world from the destruction caused by the world? That's an interesting question. The White Walkers being kind of like the democratic change, like the fire that lights under everyone's asses for them to change the way they think within the political scheme of things, and the way food is distributed to the people and all that sort of thing. I don't necessarily know how much we're going to get about the backstory of the Night King. I think we're definitely going to get more. I'm hoping that we kind of get an insight into who he was as a person before he was turned into a White Walker. I mean, let me ask you this question, chat, and for everyone that's here: if the Children of the Forest did this to you, they turned you into a White Walker, would you be a vengeful person? Would you be like, hey, I had my life taken from me, regardless if you were good or evil? Would you be upset with that? I think I would personally. I mean, maybe this person could have had a family that loved him very much. We didn't know if this person was a king or like just like a petty soldier. We don't know. I'm assuming he was someone of great potential. If the Children of the Forest were willing to invest their magic into that person, they thought they were going to be able to control that person. So, yeah, I think that. It's going to be kind of a double-edged sword. We're going to have to empathize with the White Walkers at some point. I think they're going to be humanized, which they were before, which is the funny thing, right? I mean, they were well, at least we know that the Night King or the person that was changed into a White Walker, then I'm assuming is the Night King, is a human. So we'll see what happens. I'm thinking. Revenge. You did this to me. It could be far greater than that. It could be looking for his Night Queen, all sorts of stuff. That's going to be the interesting twist, right? When we figure out what the White Walkers' true motivations are. I think they're a little bit deeper than what we've been shown. The Unsullied and the Dothraki will have a lot of issues with the cold and the snow. Yeah. I see people in the chat, leaks are fake news. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't really have too much to say because I haven't really seen what they're all about. So, I mean, I'm going to honestly try to stay away from it and just kind of try to focus on real analysis, This is a good one. Big E. Night King, all he wants is to have a Thanksgiving feast in Winterfell. Let the Thanksgiving jokes roll in. After 8,000 years of thinking, yes, I would be pissed at those little MFers. Yeah. Mia Ice and Fire, what's going on? Some still think that Bran is the Night King. Fake news emoji. Yeah, I don't think Bran is the Night King. He's connected to the Night King in the way Harry Potter is connected to Voldemort, if you want to kind of think of it like that. So that's pretty interesting. If the children did that to me, I would be pissed. Kimmy says, but I'm an anti-conflict person, so am I. If I was vengeful, it would be all towards the children. I couldn't murder innocents. Yeah, there's the story of the battle at the Blue Lake, where there was so many children in the forest killed that the lake turned into the Red Lake. The person that perpetrated this act was Brandon of the Bloody Blade. Notice his name is Brandon as well. Old Nan talks about all the Brandons becoming one in her mind, and we know that the three-eyed raven, Blood Raven, had very invested interest in the Brandons, Brand the Builder and whatnot. So that's something that we can kind of maybe speculate on, is maybe the Night King is Brand the Builder or one of the Starks. I definitely think that's where it's going to be going, where Brand's going to be kind of facing down one of his ancestors. Hopefully he's strong enough to kind of be able to resist his mind powers. I mean his will and his necromancy. I don't know. We'll see. Everyone's kind of a little bit dead inside. So the Night King, geez, everybody's suffered so much loss. Of the tertiary characters, I worry for Sir Davos. Tell me I'm wrong, Kyle. I think Sir Davos is going to survive the whole thing. The Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things, the Briennes of the world. I could be wrong there. Theon, Samuel Tarleys, the Jon Snows, the Tyrions, the Sansas. Those people who have suffered the most, who have kind of had these amazing journeys, I think that will be the ones left telling the story. Kyle, do you think Daenerys will die? Angie, yes, absolutely. I think that she's going to have to die. She's going to die in childbirth, or Jon's going to have to sacrifice her with his sword, putting his blade into her to either ignite it or think about this. Let me ask you this question. If you were put in Daenerys' shoes and there was a situation where she was with Jon and they're completely losing the battle against the White Walkers, and Daenerys had to be the one to sacrifice herself because she's like pure blood Targaryen, last blood of the dragon, and they knew that Jon couldn't make Lightbringer with some Valyrian steel if he put a sword through her heart. You think she would do it? You think she would break the wheel, let Jon have a chance at killing the Night King, giving him Drogon, possibly if Drogon survives, to stop all this madness? I think that she would. Because essentially, the White Walkers are, they still have this agenda, right? So breaking the wheel was still happening back then. I mean, they came over and they were cutting down their trees, essentially the form of the afterlife for the children of the forest. So that's a huge thing that we have to consider, right? This wheel has been churning for longer than Daenerys has even talked about. So yeah, I think Daenerys will die, and I think it will be for the greater good. We heard Tyrion talk about her legacy being instilled, possibly, after her lifetime. I think that Jon will try. I think the final moments of the series will be Jon remembering the plans they had together. You know what I mean? Kind of reminiscing on what they could have had. Good to be here with you. We got some more people in the chat joining us. We have Christian. Very nice to have you today. Geez, me name taken. Are all the White Walkers maybe mad at the Night King because he turned them? I'm not sure. That's another interesting question that we need to have answered, right? We don't really have a backstory on the White Walkers, but it's definitely possible. But they seem pretty loyal to him. I mean, he was fetching that spear like he was like, okay, boss, let's do this, Hey, David Adams, the original David Adams. What's going on, homie? Night King is the 13th Lord Commander. That's something that's also possible. But all the Night Kings are different people. George has this theory that the Night King is a very recent Night King. Elizabeth, I think the leaks are fake news. And if Bran was the Night King, what would be his purpose? I mean, he feels like he's not a white, so there has to be something going on. Yeah, I mean, the Night King exists in the same timeline as Bran and Jon Snow and all these people who are hypothesized to be the Night King. So I don't know if they're going to go with this super paradoxy type of thing that's going to confuse people. Maybe in the books it might be more complicated. For the show purposes, I think it's not going to be like that at all. Hey, Red Walrus, what's going on? Aaron, Irene, could a team be sent to handle the King's Landing problem? Arya, Hound, Jaime? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be a battle on two fronts. Theon, you can add Theon to that mix because Yara is there. Euron's going to be there. It's possible that Cersei dies and Euron is still there. George did say in the books that many people would have the Iron Throne. Many people would sit the Iron Throne by the end of the story. So it's possible that Aegon, young Griff, or Fagon might sit the Iron Throne, and all these different people. Euron might take it from him, stuff like that. So I definitely think there's going to be a battle on two fronts, because King's Landing, even though it may we're pivoting towards the north and that storyline, the White Walkers being the important thing that needs to be addressed. The politics are still a problem, right? Because Cersei is still in King's Landing and all of that. So I definitely think that Cersei could lock herself in King's Landing like the Mad King, and there could be a problem where all the people from the north are retreating and they need to stay in King's Landing. And if the Night King gets to King's Landing, that's a lot of food for his army. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be really interesting. There's definitely a lot of unfinished business. I think that, obviously we have the episode 9 that we've had in most of the seasons. It could be like the last episode is like a cleaning up of things. Like it could be that Cersei is actually left alive after the Night King, and like she's like gone super crazy. You might have a situation where the Starks have to deal. Well, the people of the Seven Kingdoms still have to deal with another villain, Cersei. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting twist, I think. Yeah, I think Daenerys will sacrifice herself. The Red God will make Lightbringer by hitting Jon's sword by red lightning. I don't agree with that, but that's an interesting thought nonetheless. Reese, Azor Hype, do you think Jaime will take part of the Lannister army with him? The troops are spread after all. Yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, we got 6 episodes. It could take him an episode to maybe get north, but I'm assuming he's gonna be in the north by the first episode for when Daenerys and all them are I think the first episode is going to be them making their plans on how to address the situation. How do we deal with the Night King? Tyrion and all of these people, and Samwell will be there. So all the great minds and all the people that matter are going to be in the same room, I think. So we shall see. It's going to be really interesting. But yeah, I think that Jaime is going to have part of his army with him. He specifically left Cersei for saying, like, we made a promise. I mean, look, we had the Dragon Pit meeting, and they brought a member of the undead army there. So yeah, I hope you guys and gals are all as hype as I am. I'm excited to be here. She said in 7 to Jon, if I had listened to you, so maybe if Jon says she will listen. I see her needing to be convinced and it taking a while. I don't think so at all. I think we saw in the last episode them laying together, Jon becoming the alpha in that relationship. I think it's mostly, I don't want to say that Jon is like 60-40. It's 50-50 between them. I think they really want to be with each other. But I think that when it comes down to all the things that are going to happen, Jon being Aegon Targaryen and all of these other things, we have to consider, would Daenerys, since she's in love with Jon and Jon's in love with her, would she take kind of a backseat to even more? We'll see. We also have to consider that she may be pregnant. So I don't think she may need to be a little bit more convinced, but she's a pretty independent woman, and I think that she's going to, like, for all intents and purposes, agree with Jon. Think Jon's days are numbered. I think that's the twist we're not expecting. Daenerys has had all of these big speeches, and they've built her up, and I think that it's going to be the same situation, man. Like Ned and Jon. I think that it's going to be a situation where Jon and possibly a daughter or a son. So yeah, I think that that's going to happen again. I think all magic-related people will die by the end. New era of the world. That's also a possibility. In George's original outline, he had Jon Snow, Daenerys, Tyrion, Bran, Arya, and I believe Sansa surviving as the main six POV characters. So got to consider that. But perhaps, Jon and Daenerys both die, and we have someone like Tyrion or Davos or Sansa. Sansa being the best option, I think, of taking care of their child. We really have to consider that Daenerys is going to be pregnant. Like, is she going to have a baby? That's going to be huge. So we will really, really see. Iron Throne will get smashed by the White Walker's Ice Blade. It's definitely possible that happens. I mean, we saw the House of the Undying Vision in the show. A little bit different than the books, where Daenerys wants to touch the Iron Throne, but there's snow on the throne, and then she goes beyond the wall and meets with Khal Drogo beyond the wall and Rhaego, I'm assuming. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if the Night King makes it that far. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to make it to the Trident, the Isle of the Faces? Is he going to make it to King's Landing? Obviously, in that vision can be interpreted as if Daenerys doesn't maybe help Jon solve these things, that the Iron Throne will be meaningless and that King's Landing will be destroyed. I mean, King's Landing is basically the New York of Westeros, where the most people are situated. So other than Old Town, I believe. So if you think about it, yeah, we got to consider that as an option too. You know what I mean? So I mean, will the Night King actually make it to King's Landing and like, is his motivation taking the Iron Throne? We don't know this. I highly doubt it, because I think his motivations are a bit grander because of all of the backstory with the Children of the Forest and stuff like that. But yeah, that's something that we have to consider. No, Michael Smith, Q&A. This is a great question, Michael. Thank you. Do you think Jon will accept and use his Aegon Targaryen name at the end of the series? I think he's going to survive, and I don't think his name will be Aegon Targaryen. It'll be Jon. But I think it's just something that will catapult some of these things, like the line of succession story that Tyrion was talking about. Whose image is going to be instilled upon the realm? Is it going to happen during your lifetime, Daenerys? Who knows? Like, I mean, I don't think Daenerys is going to be around. So Jon, honoring what the sacrifice that Ned made. Think about that. The sacrifice that Ned made. Oh my God. Same thing with Rhaegar. He made a huge sacrifice. Those two guys made huge sacrifices. How the Night King passed through the neck? Well, he's going to freeze that shit. Kyle, do you think Arya's role is going to... What do you think Arya's role is going to be? I mean, I think that they made it pretty clear that she wants Cersei, but she's got a Valyrian steel dagger now, so she's badass, man. She almost took down Brienne of Tarth, so that's going to be really interesting. I first see perhaps a storyline with her and the Hound maybe going to King's Landing and being like a secret crew that sneaks into King's Landing to deal with Cersei. I still have hope for the Clegane Bowl and all that to go down. I still think Cersei needs to be dealt with. Obviously, the Golden Company is going to be a thing because of Euron Greyjoy, but I think that Arya, I don't know. I got this feeling that it's Cersei, man. It's Cersei. Her storyline has been revenge. You think the Golden Company is going to betray? Pardon me, is going to betray Cersei? I don't think so. No. I always thought Jon's sword would be lit by dragon fire or of an ice dragon. Wow, that's super cool. Sansa was actually on that list. She was like the sixth member of that list, Mia Ice and Fire. I actually see Sansa taking care of Jon and Dany's baby like Ned with Jon. Yeah, I think that that's the greatest possibility. When I did my season 8 predictions video when I first came back a couple of weeks ago, I said that Sansa and Tyrion would do it together. So that's possible. After the release of the Forsaken chapter, Miss Gibbs says, which hints a lot towards Euron and the throne. I definitely think Cersei dies and Euron sits on the Iron Throne for a short period of time. Yeah, that would be worst case scenario. Especially in the books, Euron in the books is like he's a third act villain for sure. He's pretty crazy. He's doing some crazy stuff. Like just some horror stuff. You know what I mean? H.P. Lovecraftian type of horror. Thank you. No issue. Do you think the Golden Company will switch sides? No, I do not think they will switch sides. I think they will be destroyed. I mean, they were involved in the battle with the Targaryens for a long time. So I think they have kind of a shoe in on why they will be participating. I mean, obviously they're mercenaries, but there's always a battle of succession with them. Q&A, Kimmy Jane, if she had a baby, do you think the features will be dark hair, eyes of a Targaryen, white hair, purple eyes? Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, part of the reason, Ned hid Jon in the north. I mean, he's black of hair, which is really interesting, right? So he doesn't have the traditional Targaryen figures. So it's really interesting because Jon takes more after Lyanna. But you know, we'll see. We'll really see. I don't know. Like we have to assume that Daenerys, this child, is going to live. I'm assuming that it probably will, but yeah. Brand said Jamie she would. Aegon Stark, a John Stark, a John Stark. Get it? A John Stark could be John Stark. He could just be legitimized as John Stark. Yeah, I mean, Ned really was his father. I mean, Rhaegar died, but Ned took care of him. He loved him so much. I mean, he loved his sister a lot too. Q&A, what's Martin's big twist? Give me your theory of Crazy's tinfoil theory. Jeez, I mean, the Night King, I mean, I don't know if this is really a crazy twist, Karkiklia. I mean, I'm still going to address the video that we talked about doing together. But I think, you know, the Night King's motivations being different than we thought, or not completely different, but I think the Night King being a Stark, possibly Bran having to die, and the Night King having to also die. That would be a really interesting, kind of like a Voldemort Harry Potter situation. That would be really interesting. But I think that the big twist is Daenerys is going to die in the end. I think that's the big one. Jon's going to have to kill her. And it's going to be really shitty because having no love like that, when Benjen talked about, you know, you wouldn't know what you would be missing, and that's the thing, right? They gave in to this thing when there's all of these outside things that are super important that need to be addressed. They still decided to get together, right? And Maester Aemon said, duty is the death of love. Love is the death of duty. They both have, you know, Daenerys has this duty to the realm. She's been like, that's been her destiny. I mean, she's been this going on this huge circle, really to come back to Westeros to take back the ancient seat of her house. So it's really interesting. I do think that yeah, I think that Daenerys is going to die. That's the big twist for me. Brett, finally live again. Love hearing your voice. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Aegon Starkarian. I love some of these names. They're hilarious too. Leslie, what's going on? William Rice. Sansa has become my favorite character. I actually really like Sansa as a character. A lot of people judge her on her season 1, season 2, season 3 arcs, but I think, I mean, she's gonna be such a badass. Yeah, Eduardo Blanco, regarding the survivors list, I don't think an author like Martin will spoil his lifetime work with such a list. This was, I believe, in like 1990 or like 1992, so it's definitely changed from then. Late to the party, but hi Kyle, Amy, True, what's going on? Will Arya meet Jamie? Absolutely, they will meet. NGV, Kyle, how do you think Varys will die? Does he does it have anything to do with what he heard in the flames? Yeah, I mean, I think he will be reanimated or killed by the White Walkers, killed by magic, or it's possible he's killed by Dragonfire. I don't know, like that would be interesting. Or he could be sacrificed by Euron, something crazy like that. Dark name must live on, but through who? Through Jon. The Stark name is going to live on through Jon. Think about it. What's up, Kyle? Q&A. Jim O'Donnell, welcome, buddy. Is there a Game of Thrones Thanksgiving special, or they should do one like Star Wars Christmas special? There is not, but we're streaming regardless. I knew that there would be quite a few people that wouldn't be able to attend today, but I really wanted to get in a quick live stream today. Got about another 20 minutes or so of hanging out and talking about season 8 before I got to go run some errands. But I thought it'd be cool. I want to keep on doing videos every day again. So hype for that. I've been loving the chat. Spam those fire and heart emojis. If the throne will still be there, says Reese, I think that Jon will be pushed in the position of kings of the Seven Kingdoms, like the other times he was pushed into a leader role. Yeah, here's the thing. Duty is the death of love. Love is the death of duty. I think that eventually there'll be like this George Washington situation where he'll want to walk away from everything and be like, yeah, I'll wipe my hands clean. I've done everything that I can do. But I think the people ask for him to become king, and I think that he will do his duty. We've got to remember what Maester Aemon said, some of the most important words of the whole series. Duty is the death of love. Love is the death of duty. So, yeah, I think that he'll consider those words, and I think that he'll understand that the Seven Kingdoms, maybe Iron Throne won't be a thing by the end. Maybe it'll be divided into 4 realms or something like that: north, south, east, west, and then he'll place kind of an emissary in each of those locations, and they will kind of figure out some way to get together and have discussions and kind of divide up the realm, and not this one person ruling, you know what I mean? Because we've had these situations where one person has taken most of the power and making these decisions, these selfish decisions within the story. So it could be a situation in the end where, you know what I mean, many people's ideas and legislation are considered. Kyle, will Bran die when the Night King dies? It's definitely a possibility. I think it's a possibility. Must always be a Stark in Winterfell. And we're not all from the States. That's correct. Thank you to everyone who's joining me from the United States, from all over the world. I think one time we had 27 different countries in the chat. If you guys want to put where you're from in the chat, you're more than welcome. That would be cool. Always down to see where everyone is from, coming to hang out. I'm from Canada. Most of you know that. The lands of always winter. The lands of always winter. Winter is coming. Winter is here. Question: what might happen to Gendry? Yeah, he'll probably be legitimized to mean Lord of Storm's End. Will there be a major battle at Winterfell? Absolutely. Hell yeah, there's going to be a major battle at Winterfell. Hey, Red Witch, what's going on? How fast would Sandor eat a turkey? I'm going to have to eat every fucking turkey drumstick in this room. Leslie Powell, Q&A, do you see Tyrion regaining his mojo and surviving? I think he and Sam will have major rebuilding of New Westeros. Thoughts? Yeah, absolutely. If you think about the people that may kind of do the Bilbo Baggins thing, you know, George has a large influence from Lord of the Rings within the story of A Song of Ice and Fire. If you think about the two best candidates for people for writing the actual book, The Song of Ice and Fire, are the story Samwell and Tyrion both come to mind. I mean, Tyrion very much resembles a hobbit. He's a dwarf, and Samwell obviously is going to be Grand Maester or something of that nature. So you know, there's Sam is the author, and everything is being told from his perspective. Flash forward later to the final episode, Samwell is the one kind of telling the story to, you know, possibly Jon and Daenerys' offspring child. So yeah, Leslie, I definitely think that this is a possibility, great possibility. Scotland, Australia, so we've got Scotty from Scotland, Michael Smith from Australia, Tina Saris from Finland, Aaron Irie, 90s from San Diego. Love me some Ron Burgundy. Nicholas from Croatia. Oh, sweet, Nicola. I want to go to Croatia so bad. England, William Rice. Leslie Powell, Florida. G's name taken in Berlin, Germany here. Vestera, Sweden. Katrin. Katrina is so awesome, by the way. She's been like going back and watching all of my old crappy videos and commenting on them. Juliet, Portugal. Riviera Maya, Mexico. Eduardo Blanco. Great. Jacksonville, Florida, United States of America. Kimmy Jane, United Kingdom, Nottingham. Some small town in the middle of nowhere, east of the UK. Greece, Sparta, Carkiklia. Carkiklia, I'm so glad you're joining us. Anna Bento, Wales. They got poetic. Oh, now we got more questions. So, question: what could the Winterfell crypts play? I mean, you know, Ned could have made a crypt for Jon with his real name in there. That would be really interesting. It's possible that within Lyanna's statue, this has been hypothesized by many people, that there's a harp in there, or some sort of token of love between Rhaegar and Lyanna. So there's that. Even between below the crypt, like the lowest levels of the crypt, there's also a theory that the Night Queen is imprisoned there because of the hot springs within Winterfell. So that's pretty interesting. Some believe that there's a volcano under Winterfell, or even dragon eggs down there. Anna Bento says, Q&A, Kyle, do you believe the dragons will die? I don't want to believe that they're going to die, Kyle. Yeah, I think that all magic will be gone by the end. You know, there's an interesting scenario that I think could happen, is that I think if Bran gets stuck in the ether like the Weirwood net, and we kind of think magic is gone, but he's inside of a crow, like on one of living his second, like flying in his second life on the heart tree. In Winterfell or something like that. But I think, you know, they might allude to magic still being there at the end. Who knows? You know, possibly the White Walkers will survive. I don't see it happening, but it could happen. Herb isn't neat. R'hllor kind of as bad as the White Walkers, like he wants people burned alive as torn families apart. Yeah, I don't think R'hllor's. I mean, the kid is chaotic for sure. I mean, I could go on about this, like these god complexes, like these thoughts that I've had about the universe and whatnot, creation in general. You know, I don't know if he's good or bad, but it's definitely not good in some instances for sure. I mean, burning people alive is not a good thing. As you know, the Netherlands, Reese, yeah, Croatia is beautiful. Serbia for Brat, Chicago from Neil, New Brunswick. Hey, we've got a local Canadian here. James Barnum, Q&A, Azora Hype. After just finishing the books, I think John will be king only until kills Bran with Heartsbane, and the Night King and his dragons will shatter. Nah, I'm not sure about that. We'll see. But that's certainly interesting. I think that the God's Eye is going to be really important. The Isle of the Faces. There's definitely some information there that Bran could go get. Tyrion Landstark Jr., California, Birmingham, UK, Amy True. Juliet Algarve Priadelus. Kurt Walker, North Bay, Ontario. What's up, neighbor? Hey, what's going on, Kurt? I don't know how to speak Spanish, so I'm going to stop doing that. Nicola says, is Jaqen working against magic or supports it? Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what's going to happen if the Faceless Men are going to show back up in the show or not. We know that the gift is something that's really interesting within like the Faceless Men's ideology. The gift of death. I don't know if the Faceless Men would see the Night King as a mockery of the gift. So I don't know if they'd like oppose him or not. But that certainly that has been discussed with me and George and Gemma before, and others. So I don't know. It's definitely an interesting possibility. I really want to. I'm guessing that Jaqen will be in the final season. I think they're going to try to tie up as many loose ends as possible, try to not leave us hanging. But who knows? They could troll us, and they might not even be back in the show. Totally random from Kimmy Jane, but I've always thought Benjamin Stark knew something about Jon. I won't say whether he knew he was Lyanna's, but I always had this feeling he knew he was his family, but not Ned's yet. That could be. I mean, Benjamin could put two and two together. He definitely cared about Jon. Sacrificed himself for Jon. When will the next book come out? Anybody heard about something about it? Altinger, I think that it's going to come out after the show. I think that George and HBO have something arranged. George's books are going to be quite a bit different than the show. I think they're still going to reach the final destination. Like I still think Jon's going to become king and Daenerys is going to die in the end. But I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. Tyrion Landstark, a White Hodor turning Bran into the Night King. Explain how that happens, by the way. And thank you so much for the donation, Katrin. Really appreciate that. And I wanted to personally thank all of my patrons from Patreon who have supported me along the way. There's still 45 of you out there. Thank you so much. The support means so much. I keep on putting money into getting new equipment. And like I said, in January, I'm going to be converting the spare room in this house into an awesome room where live streams will look awesome instead of me in this corner back over here. So Neil Anderson, what will Jamie's white book deed be? Protecting Jon. He's gonna die protecting Jon or Bran. I'm guessing Bran. That would be an ironic thing. But he always thought back to the last words Rhaegar, or the last thing that Rhaegar told him, which was that Rhaegar wanted to call a council, and that he wanted to inspire democratic change because he knew his father wasn't doing a good job in King's Landing anymore. So that could be something. Wouldn't it be ironic? He couldn't protect Elia and Rhaegar's children, but Jon is Rhaegar's child and Lyanna's, and he vowed to protect Sansa and Arya, so that's definitely a thing. He could die protecting the Stark girls as well. He made a promise to Catelyn the Stark, so that's another thing. Bemo Brigada, P.S. Kyle is Portuguese. All right, cool. Question, Nomad, what are the chances that Cersei jails Bronn, then Bronn escapes and takes Illyria and Tyene? Yeah, Illyria and Tyene are actually written out of the show. They're dead. Sorry to tell you that, Nomad. James Barnham, Q&A. And Zora, greetings from Wales. Almost as cold as Canada, specifically Wainwright and Alberta. Just got back from there. You should film the north there. Yeah, I got a new camera. I'm going to film some winter stuff over here. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll do a podcast out in the lands of always winter in the cold. That would be, I don't know how I would pull that off, but it could be interesting. Either way, John will still be his nephew, so anything he got closer to John because Benji knew that John was the last of Liana. Yeah, great point, right? Hey, Fifi Mac. Hello. What's going on? Bradley Gauntlet. Do you think the Sword Dark Sister or Dawn will appear in the show in the season 8? And if so, who will use them? Yeah, I think Dawn's going to probably be used by John. He's Lightbringer, sort of the morning. He's the light, Lightbringer. He could be Lightbringer himself. Yeah, I think John probably. Herb Coswell, one asked this for a while. If John and Danny's forces get pushed back, they'll be stuck in a White Walker Lannister sandwich. Do you think that John will send some forces to deal with Cersei? It's possible. Like he could send like a secret unit, like Sandor and maybe Arya. We know that Sandor really cares about Arya and Sansa, so that could be a thing. There might be a situation where Arya volunteers, and they know that she has Faceless Man skills, and John might be reluctant to do that, but Sandor might be like, I'll babysit Arya. That could be a situation. Nomad? No, they were just left in the dungeon to die, to rot. Didn't see bodies, but it was implied that the actors themselves said they're not coming back. Jamie dying, protecting Bran, that would be poetic in full circle. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see Jamie's face when he sees Bran again. That'd be interesting. And especially when Bran is doing all this crazy stuff. Like Jamie, it took him so long to get away from Cersei, but he's going to be all in on he's done so, the deed he did killing the Night King, he did that because he knew that people would die. Hundreds of thousands of people would die in King's Landing if he didn't make that decision. So I think that if killing another king, the Night King, the king of the White Walkers, if he had that opportunity, he would do it. Arya and the Hound ride again. Yeah, Arya and the Hound Adventures 2.0. That'd be amazing. Yeah, he's gonna babysit Arya. Arya executing Jamie will be poetic, Littlefinger style. I don't think that's gonna happen. When do you think season 8 will air? 2019 January. Or it could be December 2018 combined with going into the new year of 2019. But I think it's going to be early 2019. We got some more questions in the chat. Oh, my lights are flickering. I hope my power doesn't go out. If it does, I apologize. We had a power outage the other day because of a storm outside. It's not too bad out today, but it's definitely been snowing and storming. Well, it stormed pretty bad yesterday. We had our power go off. Everybody's still chilling in the chat. What's going on, everyone? Really, really excited to have you all here. Do we want to? Okay, so let's talk about some season 8 stuff. Mira Reed maybe not appearing in season 8. What do you guys in the chat think about that? It's really interesting. I would be really upset if that happened, because I think House Reed has a bigger role to play. I mean, I'm desperate for Howland Reed in the show and in the books. Hype and love. Let's spam those heart and fire emojis in the chat. I'm so glad to be back, everyone. I mean, my energy's back. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm pretty excited to hang out. I enjoy being in the chat as much as you guys. So yeah. Okay, so let's get everyone's opinions in the chat. There's 47 people here. Do we think that House Reed's going to make an appearance in season 8? That would suck. I see her being the only one to bring Howland in. If no Mira, then no Howland. Yeah, that's the thing. If there's no Mira, I don't think we're getting Howland. That's what bothers me. But maybe we get a flashback with more Howland. like a Ned and Howland agreement. Like, because I think the ultimate person that can reveal Jon's lineage is Howland Reed. Think about it. Things happen in threes. Bran saw it in a vision. We also saw Samuel get it confirmed by papers and books, and then Howland was actually there. So that's 3 different ways of getting it confirmed, right? Yeah, Mira has to come back to bring her father back. Yeah, I agree. So some people think that it's not going to happen. Do you think the Q&A, Leslie Powell, do you think the foreshadow scene of Snow on the throne room will be the result of a reanimated Viserion on Drogon? Yeah, and I also think it's more foreshadowing that Jon Snow will sit the Iron Throne as well. Helen will return at the God's Eye would be sweet. Yeah, that would be amazing. We're definitely going to get more flashbacks 100% from Bran. Like, there's no way that's not happening. He's gonna go back to learn more about the White Walkers. I think he actually may get stuck in the Weirwood net. I think the only way we might get to see some characters is through flashbacks in season 8, which is what I'm 50-50 about. There's no time, it says Eduardo Blanco. We got to remember that there's technically enough. Well, I mean, each episode is going to be 80 to 90 minutes long, which is technically 8 or 9 episodes. So think about it. I think there's probably enough time. I don't think the Reeds are really needed as Bran and Sam are there. That's really interesting. So the Reeds have kind of fulfilled their end of the deal by getting Bran into the Three-Eyed Raven. And now Bran is the Three-Eyed Raven. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's going to be flashbacks, no Mira. This as long as Bran being Night King theory is not true, then we should be fine. It's not true. I can guarantee you that, man. I want House Reed, but don't think we'll get it. Helen might be the wild card, understated, and might become a major player. Yeah, I mean, maybe he could only make like a 2-episode appearance or something like that, or a 3-episode appearance, but like, we need him. HHH1200. Jon Snow equaled death of Viserion and Rhaegal. I'm not sure about Drogon. Bad choice, Dany getting stuck with him. What do you mean? I know you were super negative in my comments in the chat yesterday about Jon being an idiot, which I completely disagree about. So I don't know what you're trying to get at there. Tom Hunter, Howland could return and head to Winterfell with Jaime. It's possible. What do you think? What flashback about? What do you think, Varys? I mean, we're gonna get flashbacks about probably the Night King before he was a White Walker. That's what I'm thinking. He's gonna go back to the Dawn Age. I think maybe he can go back even further than that. Like, that would be like he's gonna go back real far to see how the Children of the Forest lived and whatnot. There is the 5 forts in Essos. Yep. James Barnum, Q&A has oral hype. Is Dario going to appear with the Golden Company and go to the North War and Dany and Cersei's plan? I'm not sure we're going to see Dario again. It's possible they bring him back, but I don't think he's all that important. I'm going to say no on that one. So what's going on in Essos? White Walkers only want Westeros? No, White Walkers. I mean, when the Long Night came last time, we got to like it was all over the place. But I mean, the records of it and whatnot. Just we don't have enough information on it, right? Thank you for joining me. I know a lot of people are enjoying Thanksgiving in the U.S. today. For those of you who aren't in the U.S., thank you so much for joining us. And everyone who's going to be watching this after from the U.S., happy Thanksgiving to you. It's possible, but only for book fans if they do. I think Crannogman will have dragon glass weapons and some knowledge or ideas of how to defeat them. Yeah, I mean, definitely. You know, Howland Reed apparently trained with the Order of the Green Hand. So we have to remember that's definitely a thing. And yeah, I absolutely that they're the keepers of some ancient pact or knowledge or something like that. So House Reed's importance goes beyond to a link of just with the Starks. You know what I mean? So Nicholas says Missandei betrays Daenerys. I think that's Fake news. Spam those emojis in the chat. I think that's fake news. I don't believe that at all. I don't think Missandei betrays Daenerys. So hope we get to see some of the White Walker and Night King culture and how they communicate in the early episodes. Yeah, we're definitely going to see it. I mean, I think the White Walkers won't be destroyed till like possibly episode 5, like maybe even like midway through episode 6. I'm thinking that episode 6 is going to be like 2 hours long. I'm really hopeful. What do you guys think about that? It actually ending and it actually being able to be watched in a movie theater, 2 hour long finale of Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's going to happen. I'm making that prediction now. Lord Coswell, not a Game of Thrones question, but what are your thoughts on the Punisher series on Netflix? I will say this. I think that show is absolutely amazing. I liked it more than Daredevil. Logan, Wolverine, and the Punisher have always been my two favorite superheroes because of the way they experience loss and whatnot. Yeah, I like the fact that Punisher is human. You know what I mean? And his story is so sad, you know. So he's gruesome, but I love it. I gave the Punisher a 9.5 out of 10. I liked it more than Daredevil. I think it's the best Marvel Netflix show out there right now. You think Missandei is Quaithe? That's crazy. I don't believe that. You think Bronn will be sent by Cersei to get Jaime? No. I think that Bronn thinks Cersei is crazy. To be honest, how many times have you read the books and watched the show to be as knowledgeable as you are? Jeez, the show. I haven't done a full rewatch in a while. I would rewatch season 7 once. I've read the books a couple times. I've actually reread A Feast for Crows and Dance with Dragons probably twice. I've also listened to the audiobooks, so like 3-4 times. Probably some more too. I mean, when you're doing theory videos and whatnot, you always go back to the books. I go back to the books and to get information and stuff like that. So quite a bit. Good question, Ray. I'm obsessed. Punisher was awesome. So in the chat, let's kind of pivot. I mean, we've talked about Thrones quite a bit. As everybody likes Stranger Things too. I didn't watch Stranger Things season 1 until 5 days before the actual second season came out. So I kind of saved it because I knew I was gonna be wanting to binge it kind of all in one shot. But what do you think about Stranger Things? Love it. I think The Punisher and Stranger Things are two really good shows. I also watched Narcos on Netflix, which is really good, which is about the rise and fall of Pablo Escobar and the Cali cartel. Really love that. Yeah, my beard is finally getting to the point I want it to. The books are awesome too. Mia says she's watched the show about 3 times. Nicholas says season 5 is coming to TV in Croatia. You know what? I'm 2 seasons behind on Vikings, but I'm going to catch up. I really enjoy Vikings too. Wow, Mia, you haven't seen Stranger Things? It's a really, really, really good. I think that's the other best show on television other than Game of Thrones. I'll make that proclamation here that I think it's really good. James says, Azor Hype, is Bran going to be going to the God's Eye and working to the man, the child turned into the Night King and try to advise them issue that this will cost, and they ignore him and he becomes the Night King? I don't think that's going to happen, no. Stranger Things take me straight back to my child. Yeah, I can't, like, now I have to wait like a full year for Stranger Things 3. I can't, like, I binge a show and finish it one day. Like The Punisher, I watch it all in one day. 13 hours Punisher, just watch the whole season. The Peaky Blinders, yes. I'm really, you know what? Last season shocked me. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it with the person that wore that jewel, Miss Mackenzie, and they ended up dying. I couldn't believe that. I was shocked that that person died. But that's another really good show. I really enjoyed that. The Last Kingdom I've also seen. That's another good show. George R. R. Martin actually watches that show, which is funny enough. Littlefinger is going to be in Peaky Blinders the next season. Yep. Big E waiting for the Frontier season 2 with Jason Momoa and Peaky Blinders. You say? I haven't seen Frontier yet. Is it good? I heard it has like Native American history, which is huge in our culture here in Canada. So I'm interested to uh, see that as well. Leslie Powell says, I have to binge Punisher on my days off. Yeah, the Punisher is really good. The first couple episodes are slow, and then it gets super intense. It's like, it's nutty. It's really good. Thanks for the list, guys and gals. Another one that I really liked in binge was one called The Expanse. About a set of books that is set in outer space about 200 years in the future. Well, the asteroid belt, Mars and Earth, they're kind of like all after each other, and humans have migrated out in space. It's really good. The Expanse is another one. Narcos is another show that I would recommend. I love sci-fi. Colony is kind of one. It's about aliens and Los Angeles and kind of like segregation. They're like trapped there. That's really good. Yeah, the John Bernthal who plays the Punisher played Shane from The Walking Dead. I'm trying to think of some more shows that I really like. Um, yeah, I'm a sucker for some comedy too. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's another show I really like. Season 3 of The Expanse should be out. I believe it's in 2000, late 2018. Ozark is pretty good. Yeah, I heard Ozark is a lot like Breaking Bad. Nicola, I haven't I really haven't enjoyed The Walking Dead. I think they completely botched the Negan storyline. I've read the graphic novels, and I haven't been a huge fan of some of the way the characters have been portrayed in the past 2 seasons. I really enjoyed Jesus, but I haven't enjoyed King Ezekiel at all. I think that King Ezekiel sucks. To be quite honest. Mindhunter, I heard that one was good too. Oh, Nomad. I haven't I've been saving Longmire. I'm saving Longmire this weekend. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I haven't seen the final season yet, but that's gonna be a good one. I really enjoy the characters in that show. It's a bit more light too, you know what I mean? James Barnum, I haven't seen Lucifer yet. I'm not sure if I'll watch it. I don't think that's my jam. Yeah, you don't like Sarah Wayne Callies, Brat? She's decent though. I think she's all right. Better Call Saul. I love all the all Breaking Bad stuff. Love Better Call Saul, and really enjoyed Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is my favorite television show of all time. If Game of Thrones wasn't around, Mindhunter is amazing. I heard Ozark was really good. Talking Thrones was saying that Ozark was really good. He said he binged it and said it was good. Yeah, the like the comedy element of Lucifer seems fun. Seems neat. Godless. That's the limited series, right? That just came out. That looks pretty good. I'm really excited for Gunpowder with Kit Harington. I'm gonna check that out. I think it's only like 3 episodes, but they're like an hour and a half each or something like that. I actually just finished watching a show called Luther, uh, which is really good. It's with Idris Elba. If any of you have checked that out, I watched that, and I also watched the British Sherlock. Really enjoyed that as well. Old school viewing Oz. I've never watched Oz, but I really like The Wire and all those shows. So Bryan Cranston is an amazing, amazing actor. Is Mr. Robot any good? Mr. Robot is really good. I haven't watched any season 3 yet. I did watch season 2 though. Mr. Robot is up there in my 5 favorite shows. It's really good. It's I like the premise behind it, like the revolution aspect of it. I don't want to spoil too much, Leslie, but I would really, I mean, the lead male actor for Mr. Robot actually won Best Actor award for a drama series last year. So yeah, BBC Sherlock, correct. Whitechapel on Amazon Prime. Yeah, Mr. Robot's an amazing show. What about movies? What movies have I watched lately? Arrival was one I watched that I really enjoyed. That one is about aliens. It's kind of close to Contact. You ever seen the movie Contact? It's a lot like that. That's the best movie I've seen in a while. I went and saw Justice League. I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was like super amazing or anything, but I didn't hate it either. Justice League was okay. I really want to go see Thor, but I haven't seen it yet. What are some other movies that I've enjoyed lately? There was actually one about I can't remember the name of it. It's with Jeremy Renner, and it's about a Native American girls getting murdered in this community, and he's a hunter and he has to track down the killer. That's really good. I can't remember what it's called. Jeremy Renner is in that one. That's one I really enjoyed. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. I heard it's good. I heard it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, like really funny. And I love a good comedy. So New Murder on the Orient Express is good. Yeah, I know all about the story of gunpowder. I know the history of it. Um, I I really want to see it. I love Kit Harington as an actor. I think he's amazing. Oh, I haven't seen Star Trek Discovery yet. Is it worth watching? I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Also, by the way, in the chat, while everyone is here, what kind of videos would you like to see going forward? I'm thinking tomorrow about doing a house read video and like kind of going through the pros and cons of them being in season 8. What do you think about that? But I love hearing from all of you, like seeing what you would like to see. I'm excited for the new Star Wars that comes out next month too. That's going to be really good. There's a movie coming out with Natalie Portman next year called Annihilation, which looks really good. There's also a movie. I got to go check my Twitter. So that's what's it called? I just tweeted it out the other day. It's about being quiet. It's good. I put the trail. A Quiet Place is with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I don't know if any of you have seen the trailer for that movie, but it looks scary as hell. Oh my God, it looks awesome. House Read would be a great video. You got all of you guys and gals will enjoy that. I'm thinking about doing. I want to do a House Read video, and then I definitely want to do a Jamie Lannister video. I've wanted to talk about Jamie Lannister and what he's going to do, the White Book, and all the things that he can maybe achieve. I'm thinking I'm going to do House Read, Jamie Lannister, and then I can maybe do a Sandor video for you guys, a fun Sandor video. Yeah, so George is doing the Thanksgiving thing today, and George has been working a lot. He's got a project that's been like he had like a 2-week deadline for like a 6-week project. So George has been really busy, and Gemma's been hanging out with her family, taking a little bit of a break. So she will be back at some point, and they will most definitely be back. We'll be doing some live streams sooner or later. Me and Gemma are going to do some podcasts. I've actually talked to Phil, the Issues guy, and I want to kind of do something with him. And then next from Game of Theories, when he comes back in December, me and him are going to start to do something too. So we can start to look for some crazy podcasting and theory casting from me and Nex. That's going to be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. New Predator movie coming out. Yeah, I don't know how optimistic I am about that. The Alien remakes were okay. Crips of Winterfell, I can definitely do that too. Yeah, I know. I miss Gemma too. Yeah, I was MIA for a while, Rickard. You know, the channel got sanctioned. We had the problem with the channel getting flagged, but that's all behind me. Super glad to be back, and I had a really bad chest cold for like 2 weeks. I was super sick, so yeah. George is he's maybe the best man I know. I love George. I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm gonna make some dinner for me and my mom. I think I'm gonna make some rice, and we have some leftover pork roast. So I think I'm gonna make some veggies, some sweet peas, and some pork, and I'm gonna make some rice, some butter, and some herbs and stuff. And I'm gonna make like a stir fry. Yeah, I really enjoy Gemma's company. I would love to have Talking Thrones and Greyback at some point in the future, but they're doing their own thing for right now. It's possible, maybe in the future. I know that they're both going to Con of Thrones, so that might be a thing. Best, missed the best triple threat on YouTube. Jamie and Sander. So what I'll do, everyone, is we're probably going to end the stream here. We had a really fun chat today. Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you to anyone who's going to be watching this after. Next video tomorrow going to be about House Reed for sure. I've been hypothesizing about some things that are going to be happening with them if they appear, if they don't appear. So that's going to be the next video coming tomorrow. Then I'm going to do a video about Jaime Lannister and how he's connected to multiple characters, and he's going to be really important in the end game. But thank you so much, everyone, for really joining me today. I know the Americans are doing the Thanksgiving thing, so any of you American friends that are going to be here later, love you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving, and thank you for coming to watch the video after. Thank you for everyone that came today. We had a bunch. We had people from Portugal, Finland. We had people from Wales, UK, Africa, everywhere. So that was really cool. Thank you to all you guys, and really appreciate the support. If you do want to support the channel, you can check out the link in the description of this video. It's called Patreon, and you can support by donating $1 and upward. It really helps out the channel. I have like special rewards, like a little special podcast notes and little special videos and special insights of what I'm going to be doing in the future. So kind of like early access kind of stuff. So, but thank you everyone for joining me today. Thank you for the donations and everything. And I'm going to see you all tomorrow in the next video. 7 blessings.